The best thing on her. I don't know why you can put me down. Shit, I am the shit.
This ain't no regular thing. Came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean. This for my city, yeah, this for my team. If you talking, it's how to be nice. I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights. Better get right, I'm champion. The game is in trouble, I've been in my depth for the piece of the puzzle, I got it for real. Still keep me going, I wake up and hustle, you won't see me buckle, I've been in the field. Man of the town, you been in your fields, I'm adjusting this crown. Call me your majesty, either that or your tragedy. We're shutting everything down. I've been hot like somebody put a candle on them. Off top, I don't really stand opponents, this mine. The moment is run out and start a bunch of pandemonium. More game, I got some, the skill is bar one, y'all done, the game in the coffin. Referee scream recipes, and think twice if you next to me, it's West. This ain't no regular thing, I came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean, this for my city, yeah, this for my team. If you talking, it's hard to be nice. I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights, better get right, I'm champion. It's our repetition, I'm stacking these trophies, I'm good with addition. I spit like a pastor, I give you the vision. Up early morning, enough of the sleeping. My life is a dream, but you wishing you lived it. Haters get livid, my pocket's Pacific, that's deep if you get it. So therapeutic, I sleep on the critics. Don't feel like competing, I'm hearing these tickets. Whoa, let me switch the flow, a new bounce. Coming to the den with a lion, I'm gon' pounce. Know I've been a king for a while, got a ring and a crown. That's the bling with the blow, what the team is about. Champions, you can tell by the ambience of this sound. Referee scream rest in peace and think twice if you never see me, it's no doubt. This ain't no regular thing, I came for the ring, you know what I mean. If you talking, it's hard to be nice. I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights, better get right. This ain't no regular thing, I came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean, this for my city, yeah, this for my team. If you talking, it's hard to be nice. I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights, better get right, I'm champion.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you tuned in to the one and only Big Hank Sports Review. Yeah. Basketball, football, breaking it down for you. Yeah. Now vibe with me. Like, comment, subscribe, oh yeah. Kick back, enjoy the ride. Basketball, football, talking that truth. Sports review with Hank bringing the proof. Big Hank Sports. Like, comment, subscribe, kick back, enjoy the ride. Basketball, football, talking that truth. Sports review with Hank bringing the proof. Step on the court, feel the sneaker squeak. Hank called a play like a coach unique. Fast break vision, highlight reel. He breaking down the stats with that southern feel. On the field, end zone, crowd gon' roar. Touchdown energy, we want more. So if you want the game from a real point of view, better show love, like, comment, subscribe to. Like, comment, subscribe, say what. Big Hank, keep the game alive. Basketball, football, talking that truth. Sports review with Hank bringing the proof. Big Hank Sports Review. NBA nights, NFL days. Hank break it down in so many ways. From the block to the pocket, the hustle, the grind. Every story hit different when Hank defines. Laughs in the flow, but the game stay tight. He shine the spotlight where it feel just right. Sports and the culture, it's more than a vibe. It's the truth and the groove. Come on, subscribe. Now don't wait, don't hesitate. Click that button, elevate. Join the tribe, be part of the crew. Sports review with Hank coming straight to you. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah. Keep the channel alive. Basketball, football, talking that truth. Sports review with Hank bringing the proof. Hank Sports Review. Review.
Happy Monday, happy Monday. We back in the basement. We back at it again, man. I love being here talking sports. You know how we do. Got a whole lot going on. Got a whole lot going on. Now, see, the last time we was here, we was making our predictions. And guys, I got to admit, I was wrong. I thought the Spurs was going to win this thing. But there's no way I would have ever predicted the Knicks would be up 2-0. Ain't no way I would have never made that prediction. But them boys are tough. You got to respect the game. They up 2-0, and we got a game tonight, 8:30. 8:30 tip-off tonight, game 3 in New York. Shh. Man, let me say this. If the Knicks win tonight, it's over. It's over for the Spurs. They ain't got a goddamn snowball chance of hell coming back. It's over. I'm just saying, man. I'm watching the games. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn. And the crazy thing about it is the Spurs gets up on them like in the 15. I think one time it was 17 points. And he still found a way to jack this one off. How does that work? I don't know. But we're going to go with more into detail on that game. We are definitely going to make sure we do that. But before we go there, we got some other sports things we need to talk about, right? So we got a little bit of college football talk to talk about. We got a little bit of NFL football talk. We all know football's all year round. That's my sport. That's a man sport. That's the big dog sport. But we're going to talk about it. Let me say this. Congratulations to the University of Texas Longhorns women's softball team for winning the College Softball World Series. Shout out to them ladies. They did their thing. Baby girl sent me a reminder text saying they won. She was born in Texas. So she gonna root with the team. So she sent me a reminder text that the Texas Longhorn lady softball team won the World Series. So I said, well, since she sent me a reminder via text, it's only fair that I mention it on this short show, right? It's only fair. Big brother, welcome to the show tonight. Good to see you. It's been a minute, but glad to see you here. Right on. Make sure y'all do me a solid. Hit that goddamn like button. Push the goddamn button. You're goddamn right. Push that goddamn like button. All right, damn it, I need a like button to be here because I need y'all to push me through the algorithm. Can't do it by just sitting on your hands. Hit the like button. Push the goddamn button. I know, that's right. But yeah, I was watching a couple of them softball games. I ain't gonna front. And it was the Oklahoma and Mississippi State game is what I was watching. Me and my wife was at the flea market. I think I shared this story already. But we was at the flea market walking around. And then we, had to sit down. And I was looking at, I'm always looking at ways to cut the cord. Cutting cable loose. I'm pretty much almost there. We got the basic cable. I just need your internet. And I got everything else on these sites. I'm not going to go into detail. We're not going to do that. But they did offer something at the flea market that I did see. So I was interested. So I just sit back and watched it, just checking out the channels. And one channels they was able to, they had the softball game. So I was watching that, man. Oklahoma, Mississippi State, they was going back and forth. They was going hit for hit, you know what I'm saying? Now, that's the last game that I actually got to see. It wasn't until I was watching a Texas game, but I wasn't watching in detail. I mean, it was just like on in the background. You know how it is. You just have it on in the background to have something while, I was working on some stuff, you know what I'm saying? Getting myself together for the shows that I got, especially one on Wednesdays. Shout out to my wife for getting the research for me, my crack research team, the crack research team, I think that's what they call it. So she was getting some information together, getting some numbers together for me that I needed for my show. So shout out to her. But I was doing that, getting my thumbnail, getting how I'm going to have it set up, lining my guests up. That's what I was doing while the game was on. So I didn't really get to really pay attention to it like I probably would have if I was watching, say something else, Pickle Rick, what's going on, big brother? Glad to see you here, man. Talking about what's going to be jumping off on Wednesday. This Wednesday, we're going to be talking about Men's Mental Health Month. We all know the month of June, we recognize it. But shout out to Pickle Rick. Hopefully, he subscribed. If he ain't subscribed, shame on that brother. And make sure you hit that goddamn like button, Pickle. You're goddamn right. Hit that goddamn like button. But no, with that being said, we are definitely going to be rocking out this Wednesday, man. My man, Mr. Scott's going to be here with me. We're going to chop it up. We're going to have the good conversation that needs to be had, the challenging conversation some men are challenged to have and are sometimes uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. Sometimes the conversation can be uncomfortable to certain individuals, and that's okay. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to have these uncomfortable conversations, but it's needed. Especially some of the things that we go through as men, the challenges that we have to face, the things that we have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? We do what we got to do, right? We do what we got to do as men. And sometimes, you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. You feel like you Atlas. You feel like there's going to be no relief. There's no, light at the end of the tunnel, but there is. But sometimes you need to hear individuals like myself and other men to encourage you, to uplift you, to pour into you. And that's okay. Doesn't make you less of a man if you need some encouragement from a fellow man. That's okay. It's okay. I promise you it is, man. Some people need professional help. And that's okay too. I never be knocking for that. I never do that. If that's what you need, that's what you need. Because guess what? Hink don't always have the answers. I don't know always the right things to say, right? I can give you my opinion, what I think, but sometimes you need that professional opinion. Now, whether you feel like that professional opinion may be an actual therapist, or maybe a spiritual therapy, maybe something you're dealing with spiritually. Do what you got to do. But that's definitely going to be the conversation on Wednesday. Make sure y'all tap in. Promise you, be on the lookout for this thumbnail. So this is the thumbnail. It's my man, myself, and this guy. We're going to definitely make sure we have that conversation on Wednesday. Looking forward to it. Hopefully we're able to share a lot of great information for you fellas who definitely need it. And if you have anybody in your family, loved ones, kinfolks, friends, co-workers, whatever the case may be, share this with them for Wednesday. We're gonna do it. We're gonna rock out, man, and have a good time with it. And definitely what I'm going to do also is I'm gonna make sure that I drop the link. If you feel comfortable hitting that link and coming up, come on. If you feel comfortable hitting that link, come on. Or your comfort level is more so, yeah, I'm gonna stay in the chat. I'm just gonna shoot some questions out there, say what I need to say from the chat. I understand that too. I can respect either way. Now, my only thing is, if you come up here, I'm gonna have to make sure it's you as a person. I don't want no bull crap. I don't want my channel flagged by somebody doing some silly shit. Just show me that's you, you know what I'm saying? And then you can calm down, and then I can bring you up once you calm down. Or if you want to stay on camera, that's cool too. Obvious, there's no use of drugs paraphernalia on my stream. No smoking, even though I like partaking a stogie or slash a cigar. I can't do this on the screen because they will flag me. I love my channel. Huh? I love coming here and entertaining you some bitches. I'm just playing with you. I do enjoy coming here and having fun with you guys. So I want to make sure I continue to do that so I don't get my channel flat. And in order to do that, I got to make sure everything's on everything. Right on? You understand what I'm saying? It is what it is. But with that being said, we got to get to it. Let's get to this football first. First, I want to talk about this college football. So there was a young man that played for the Texas Tech quarterback, Brandon Sorsby. So those who don't know, he was a quarterback who was dealing with a gambling addiction, right? And he self-reported himself, right? He said, I need to go get help, right? Shout out to Men's Mental Health Month. He said, I need to go get help. I need to get some help with this issue of me being addicted to gambling, and gambling not only on pro sports, but also college sports. And so when he did that, he pretty much told on himself. And so with that being said, he had to report to NCAA. And Texas Tech had to do that too, to keep everything on the up and up. He took a leave from the game of football for a minute, went to go get the help that he needed. Shout out to that brother. He went to go get the help that he needed. So now he's ready to get back in and play ball again. Well, Big Brother, aka the overseer of college football, said, well, we're not just gonna just let you come back and think you're not gonna serve some type of punishment. No, we're not gonna do that. So he's eligible for the 2026 season, but he will serve a 2-game suspension for his transgressions. Now, I look at it like this. Is that fair? Okay, that's fair. Couple games. I think that's a fair punishment for what he's done and what he did. Now, what I do hate is that he did make the decision to self-report, but now he's being punished for his honesty. Let's be real. The man is being punished for his honesty because he was honest and letting them know, I got a problem. I got issues. I'm dealing with this. I need to get help. I need to step away from the game for a bit and address this situation. It's becoming a problem. So now he's being punished for his honesty. Now, some people may say, well, 2 games, that's a lot. They only play 12. I understand. But there got to be some type of punishment. Even for his honesty, there's got to be some type of punishment. You can't just let it go by, because now you got to try to deter anybody in the future who's thinking about doing some shit like this. You got to deter them from doing that. Somebody said, was it Al said, he's not honest. He's a liar. God damn. That's what he said it. LL Cool J said it best. He said, that's a lie. He said, what? You're a liar. God. I think who that was that? I think it was Dave Hollister said, you're a liar, a deceiver, a heartbreaker. I think that's who was saying that. Show my age now, guys. I mean, I'm old. I ain't gonna lie. I'm 50 years old, goddamn. And my birthday's on Monday. Next Monday, June the 15th is my birthday. I'll be celebrating 51 goddamn years around this sun and earth. God damn. But I think that's who it was, Dave Hollister. He said, my man said he's a lie. He's a goddamn lie. It is what it is, but he got to do what he got to do. Look, you rather him coming up and telling the situation instead of somebody else. That's what you don't want. You don't want somebody else to tell your story, right? You don't want nobody else to come and say, well, I seen such and such. I seen him rolling to the horseshoe, playing that left-hand bandit at the slot machines. Then he went to the goddamn blackjack table, rolling them goddamn dice. Yeah, I seen him playing on that roulette a couple times. As a matter of fact, I think I seen him at the FanDuel machine. I don't know what he's betting on, but I know he's betting on some games because he was talking about this game and that game. God damn. So now I got somebody else telling my story for me instead of me telling my own. But look, I think he did what he had to do, especially for his health. The man acknowledged that he did wrong. The man acknowledged that he was wrong and he was betting on sports, and he had an addiction. And I'm gonna have to turn this goddamn phone down because my goddamn ring bell keep going off. Goddamn you, Ring. I love you, but shit, you're doing too goddamn much. I'm just saying. Let me fix that because we don't need them disturbers. We don't disturb this groove. I got all the songs in my goddamn head, don't I? But I can appreciate the man admitting to himself, admitting to his teammates, going to the university, presenting it to them, saying, hey, man, I got some issues, man, and I need to address this for real. Because if I don't, it could become a bigger problem down the road. So I need to step away from this game for some time and go address this. My man Pickle comes up with a question. Pickle said, question here. Do you think his teammates will be able to trust him? God damn. Now, Pickle, that's the $1 million question right there. Let's be honest. That's $1 million question right there. Do I think the teammates are going to be able to trust him? John Connor said, I don't trust him. Okay. When I played college ball, we never had a situation like this as far as gambling. Now, back in my time, when we did get paid and we weren't supposed to get paid, we had a situation like that where a guy had a self-report. And he was the captain of the defense, right? Nobody lost any trust for him. Matter of fact, some of the guys said I would have never said anything, though. And I was 19 at the time. I think 19 going on 20. 19, yeah. I could understand. But I want to keep your mouth shut and not do anything. Now, unfortunately, he had to serve a 4-game suspension for that shit. That was a little extreme. But it could have hurt the program. You know, that could have put us on probation. You know, so that's when they was really slapping hands and, you know, locking you down and putting cuffs on you with that bullshit. But as far as your question, I think they will. And Pickle, this is why I say that, because he did self-report. He did come to the coaches and the coach staff and let them know what happened. He shared with his teammates, I'm sure, to let them know what's going on and what he's dealing with. And as a man, I can respect that. I can respect that. I can. So, yeah, I do think his teammates will trust him because he was forthright. Matter of fact, let me tell you this. I think they'll rally around him because of that. I promise you, when he shared that, I wouldn't be surprised some of his teammates didn't go to these counseling sessions with him, like some of these gambling anonymous meetings with him. I wouldn't be surprised by that. Not at all. I wouldn't be surprised that they wasn't there to support him, to encourage him, let him know, hey, we here for you. We're not going to let you go through this shit alone, man. Look, it's a special thing, man, with football. I don't know nothing about basketball. I didn't play that. But as far as football, man, there's a certain camaraderie you have. Them long summers, them long 2 days. I ain't gonna lie, we had 3 days. And they wasn't supposed to be 3 days. But we're not gonna tell on nobody. I know the statute of limitations over. But I ain't gonna drop a dime on Coach Nut. Shout out to Houston Nut. He got to do a goddamn 3 days pushing us like we slaves and shit. Shame on you, coach. God damn. But nonetheless, it's a certain level of camaraderie that you have. I mean, did you come together, you brothers, man? You know, now, of course, this is the days you had to share the fucking shower together. It wasn't petitioned off like some of them locker rooms did now. God, that shit was crazy. But it is what it is. But you had to share the locker room together. You didn't have, this big old locker room where you just see everybody. You know everybody's business because we always in there talking bullshit and sharing information about what girls is going and what girls ain't going, what girls let you crack, what girl ain't. She just playing. She's a damn tease. Yeah, we all that information was shared. You know what I'm saying? We out there, one teammate hungry, man, I ain't got nothing in my dorm, man. What you got in your room? Man, how many swipes you got? Let me borrow a swipe. Let me have a swipe. And that's how we did. We broke bread together. We shared stories together. We was in the trenches together. We sweating together. We doing these football camps together. I remember going to my man's house doing the Thanksgiving break, man, because I didn't feel like going all the way home, and because we only had a 2-day turnaround. I go to teammates' house. They broke bread with me. You know, you got to engage with people you normally want. You know, their political background, their financial background. Y'all wasn't all the same. We come from different. You know, I thought I was country. This motherfucker was country. He lives on the actual farm, raised on the farm from Arkansas. Man, that wasn't my life. When I say that I'm the country, I was out there with my grandmama. But we ain't had to we wouldn't take care of no goddamn cows and all that slopping pigs and shit. We didn't do that. We had some chickens. We had to burn our goddamn trash. We wasn't doing all this other stuff that they doing. They on the show. I'm like, damn, you country. But I learned something. And that allowed us to be together. Let me tell a story, one story. I remember staying in my dorm. My first semester, I had my dorm myself because my teammate didn't. The teammates supposed to have. He didn't show up. Right, he didn't show up. I guess he decided to go to a different school. Is what ended up happening once I found out. So I had the room first semester by myself, no roommate, chilling, loved it. In our rooms we had twin beds, so I put the 2 twin beds. I made one big queen size bed. You couldn't tell me nothing. Of course, I didn't have no damn fitted sheet for it because we only had a fitted sheet for the twin side, not the queen. Didn't matter. So I took that sheet, I covered it up, I used what I had to do. So that next semester, I ended up getting a roommate. Roommate, I'm talking about the one from Arkansas. Big old office, big old country boy from Arkansas. This big old boy like to listen to country goddamn music. Me, I'm more hip hop and R&B. We got into it over music. I didn't want to hear that bullshit. And he didn't want to hear mine. So now we fight. I said, hey, man, don't turn my music. Heck, I don't want to hear that bullshit. I don't want to hear some goddamn Willie Nelson. It went on goddamn Willie Nelson. I don't know what it was. It might have been Garth Brooks. I don't know what it was. I just remember it was goddamn country music. I didn't like it. Average man. Appreciate it. He said, yo, Hank, what's good, bro? I'm at work while listening. Man, I appreciate it. Hopefully you hit that goddamn like button, average man. You're goddamn right. You push that goddamn like button. But man, he said, I don't want to hear that bullshit. I said, hold on now. You gonna call my music bullshit. You're not going I said, everybody listen to me. Hear me out. I said, you're not gonna call my music bullshit. You know, so it's back in about 9 or 3. No, went on 93. I'm sorry, 94, 95. My music wasn't booming. You couldn't tell me shit. I think I was banging that back then. I was banging that 8-ball in MJG. They coming out hard. What y'all know about that? Shit, you couldn't tell me nothing. I'm rocking out to 8-ball in MJG. You know what I'm saying? 9mm boys. What y'all know about that? Shout out to the South. I'm listening to that. He didn't want to hear it. So now we argue. He turned my shit off. I said, man, don't turn my shit off no goddamn more. I'll push his big ass. That big motherfucker pushed me back. I said, oh, it's on now. So now we up there wrestling. I'm thinking I'm getting the best of him. I used to wrestle at high school. I'm keeping up with his big ass. No problem. We going at it. Now, he outweighs me about 50 to 60 pounds. I'm just whole linebacker. He offensive lineman. I said, I'm going to get this boy. He ain't strong enough. I'm built different. That motherfucker, I guess he got tired of wrestling and doing that bullshit. That motherfucker, then he tackled my ass. I said, oof. Now, y'all know what that means. When a motherfucker go, oof, that motherfucker knocked the breath out of my big ass. Now I hit the back of the wall on the bed. I just said, he forced my big ass. I said, oh, shit. I said, Lord, I ain't going to be able to make it. I said, get your big ass up off of me. I said, I'm about to leave. You can turn on whatever you want to. I'm getting up out of here. You kiss my ass. I couldn't say that he whooped my ass. He got me. His big ass knocked the shit out of me. I couldn't breathe. God damn. Shame on this big ass. Man, it took me, I went walking. Man, it took me about a mile before I got my breath back. I felt like I ran a marathon, but the way I was breathing all heavy, I couldn't breathe and shit. I said, God damn. My back was sore. Ribs felt like they was crushed. Average man, I couldn't breathe. That big motherfucker knocked the shit out of my big ass. He's 6'5". I'm 6'3". He about 50 pounds heavier than me. And he was a freshman. He was like he was bad. But he was one of them big old country boys. God damn. Let me acknowledge money. God damn. Shout out to my man, Average Man, coming through with the $5 super chat. He ain't saying nothing. He just wanted to send some love. That's it. Some love. Shout out to my man, Average Man. He didn't have to. He chose to. And I appreciate the blessings. Thank you, sir. I promise you. I appreciate that. You too can be like Average Man and hit that goddamn super chat if you like. You're more than welcome. And I greatly appreciate it. Matter of fact, if you want to do anything funny, go to that Cash App and that QR code at the top left-hand corner. For me, it may be on right for you. Wherever's at, hit that QR code you want to tap it to donate. I promise you, I appreciate it. But the most important thing I need is for y'all to hit that goddamn like button. You goddamn right. Now, I got off on the goddamn tangent. I don't know how I did it, but sometimes it happens like this. Sometimes that's where the conversation takes you, right? It is what it is. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We just up there having fun, talk. That's it. But no, back to this college football thing. And my man, shout out to Pickle for the question. Yeah, I do think. I do think they would trust him. I do think they would trust him because reason why, man, they probably been with him for about 3 to 4 years. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They've been teammates. He hasn't done anything questionable other than make this bad decision of gambling and doing all that. But you know, thing he did, bro, was got himself the help that he needed. And whatever trust that some of the guys may have, I'm sure they can work it out because he did go and get the help. Now, if he just sit there and say, I'm going to step away, I ain't going to get no help, but I'm just going to step away to give myself time to think and not get no help, then I'll be a little skeptical of my man. But, he said he went to go help. He went to a program, so shout out to him for doing what he had to do in order to get back to the team and get back in the good graces of the program. So shout out to him. And hopefully all the things work out with him. But with that being said, let's keep going. We got to go to the NFL. Now, y'all all know, because if you don't know, you're going to know now. I am a Chicago Bears fan. FGB all day, every day. Now, if you don't know what FGB means, that means fuck Green Bay. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to tell you what it means. Average man said, just don't start that goddamn singing. I'll be nice. Average man, you can kiss my grits. Because if a song comes across my heart, I'm going to sing it, goddamn it. Oh, shit. Now, let's get back to it. Green Bay Packers sign Christian Watson. 4-year, $110 million deal. Now, this deal includes a $31 million signing bonus. Christian Watson, 27-year-old, is coming off a productive 2025 campaign. He posted 35 catches, 611 yards, and 6 touchdowns in 10 games after recovering from an ACL injury to end this 2024 season. Congratulations, Green Bay, for making that bad decision. Because I wouldn't have made it. Ain't no way I'm a... Guys, did y'all hear what I said? 10 games, 35 catches, 611. That is crazy. That sounds crazy. Now, they really had no choice because they lost the other receiver, Dobbs. They lost him to New England. So they pretty much had to secure because they really still don't have a number one receiver. So since he's been in the NFL, this is his stats. 133 catches. 2,264 passing yards. And 20 touchdowns. Since he entered the league in 2022. He's been in the league that many years, 24 years, and that's it. Now, I'm going to say this. He's scoring touchdowns. He's scoring touchdowns. He ain't getting a lot of receiving yards, right? He's not getting a lot of catches, but he's scoring the touchdown. So I give him credit for that. Guys, we need your production. 34 catches last year. That's it? 35, I'm sorry. 35 and 611 yards. But, you know how they do. They pay on potential. So it is what it is. So for those who know, Jake Reed was re-signed by Green Bay. Watson's signed up. Last year, they drafted Matt Golden. And they signed Sky Moore. They have no legitimate number one receiver at all. Maybe their tight end, they may consider the number one receiver, and that's Kraft. And Kraft is pretty good. I ain't gonna front. Kraft is pretty good. I don't know what's going on with Jacobs. Unfortunately, he had a domestic violence dispute that he's dealing with, that he was locked up for. Don't know what the status of him is going to be. He's got something he's got to deal with. Well, like I said before, FGB, I really don't care about Green Bay. I hope everything goes wrong for him. I hope everything. I hope the whole team just collapse. I can care less. Jordan Love sucks to me. It is what it is. But you know, it's sports, so we got to talk about it. It's sports, and we got to talk about. So that's what's going on as far as in the NFL. Really, no other news. I mean, we did have a Snead. The Chiefs brought Snead back from when I think he was cut from the Titans. So he signed him to a $1 million deal, worked up to $5 million. So shout out to the Chiefs for doing that. That makes sense. A guy familiar with the program who's already with the program before, bringing him back to the fold. You know, he left Tennessee after his four-year deal, $76 million. You know, he got the ring, so he said, "I'm gonna go and chase the bag." I don't blame him. You gotta do what you got to do. But of course, Tennessee said we're done with his ass. we cut his ass loose. We done with you. So he said, "I'm gonna go back to home. I'm gonna go back home. Home is where the heart is. Home is where the heart is," and that's where he did. So Snead went back to the Kansas City Chiefs, signed a 1-year, $5 million deal. Got that little bit of bread. You know, not much, but a little bit of bread. You know what I'm saying? It was fair. It was a fair deal. You know, it was a fair deal, I think. You know, the Broncos are dealing with some issues. Jonathan Cooper pled not guilty on Monday for domestic violence case stemming from an altercation with his girlfriend. Now, let me say this. These dudes, man, dealing with this stuff, man, is crazy. If you got that type of woman like that's driving you or forcing you or pushing you to do shit like this, to get volatile and put hands on her, you need to get away from her. First thing first, you probably need to get you some anger management. Let's be honest, right? You probably need to get you some goddamn help because you got a fucking anger management problem. And it probably doesn't help that she may be one of them rah-rah type chicks and you like that shit. You know, that crazy cat's the best cat. Bullshit. That crazy cat gonna cost you money that you don't need to be spending on, like lawyer fees, because you getting locked up for domestic violence. That's crazy work. Unfortunately, you got some guys who got caught up in that bull crap, man. If the woman's pushing you to that point, get the fuck out of there, man. Get away from her. Have nothing to do with this woman. And you better not dare bless her with your goddamn last name. That's the worst mistake you can do. Knowing she's like that, you make that decision to marry the woman, you setting yourself up for failure. And so when you bring that noise to the public eye, guess who's going to talk about it? Your boy. Your boy ain't going to speak up on it. Got to. Got no choice. We're going to talk about it. So definitely make sure, fellas, if that's the type of individual you are entertaining, get the hell away from them. Get the hell away from them. If she's pushing you to that point, get away from them. And if you're allowed to, get you some help as well. Get you some help as well. Get you some guidance, something. Another thing, I read a report that Brown was frustrated by Jalen Hurts not wanting to throw into tight windows. Now, I don't think it was Jalen Hurts not worried about throwing into tight windows, A.J. Brown. It's just you was going to always let him down and not catch the pass. I remember watching a game, you begging for the ball, and you dropping it. You dropping the goddamn ball. How you going to sit there and play, beg, cry, complain about not getting the pass? And when they come your way, you ain't making the pass. You ain't catching the ball. But you going to sit there and pout and complain like a little child? I think really, let's be honest, A.J. Brown made a mistake. I really do. I hope he don't live to regret. I hope he has success over in New England. But dog, you won a Super Bowl with this man. You was getting the ball. He was letting everybody eat. But you felt like you should have ate more. Why? Because you wanted that number one receiver tag? Maybe because you want to get that bigger check being the number one receiver. Okay, look here. I understand. But that money going to come. You're going to get your payday. And if you don't get it on the field, you get it off the field with endorsements. That's going to be your real big pay, them endorsements. There's a salary cap on that cash that the NFL can pay. But there ain't no salary cap on these endorsements. As long as you produce it, you good. They're going to bring you in. As long as you're likable, they're going to bring you in. A Super Bowl winning receiver is going to get that money. They're going to give you opportunities. But I guess it just wasn't enough for him. And he wanted more. Sometimes you just got to be okay with what you got. But what I didn't like is that he was telling the inner workings of what's going on in the locker. I can't stand that. I remember how I had this conversation with my son. I said to my son, I said, don't tell your parent, between me and his mother, anything about what goes on. Unless it's something detrimental, you know what I'm saying, something that's going to hurt you or harm you or something like that. You and the team may get into a little scuffle. Man, we don't need to know that. It's not for us to know. What are we going to do about it? You want us to come up there and make it right? Hell no, you're a young adult now. But he was in high school at the time. I said, no, dog, it's not for us to know. Even though I understand the locker room dynamic, I still don't want to be knowing all that. Because it's not for us to know. That's for you and your teammates to get through and work out. And it's going to bring your bond even closer, stronger. But you going out here gossiping and telling all the goddamn tea and business, that don't make sense to me, dog. And that's not what a good teammate do. Now, like I said again, if it's something detrimental to yourself, right? If it's something that's going to hurt you or some kind of crazy stuff, okay, go on, let somebody know. I get that. I understand that. But if it's nothing like that, man, go on about your goddamn business and take care of what you need to take care of. Do what you need to do. Make right what you need to make right. Do like I did. Get your goddamn breath knocked out of you. Your goddamn ass. God damn it, I'm traumatized. That shit hurt. I think I'm still feeling the effects of that goddamn big motherfucker knocking the shit out of my ass. I'm sick of it. But guess what? We're still good friends. I call him today. Matter of fact, I even go in front of that. His father was the man who taught me about finances, home ownership, and all of that shit. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know about some of these things. I ain't gonna say I would never know about it. I could have found out somewhere else, maybe later on down the line. But I found out when I was a college student, 20, I think I was 19 or 20 at the time when I got that information. I even questioned, I had to go home and talk about, I said, hold on. Because what he was sharing with me, he said the average white family gets their first home at 25. I said, oh no. And then he told me, he said 30 for us. I said, oh hell no. 30? I said, you got to be kidding me. No, you doing too much. You just talking. You don't know what you're talking about. You know how kids are. So he said I had to ask. First person I asked was my uncle. He said, yeah, I was about 31 when he got the first. I said, God damn. I saw that action up. I asked my dad. Now I knew my dad was an exception because he was in the military. So he had a leg up. So he got his at 27. Right? So he had a leg up on the situation. So I already knew his was going to be different because of that GI Bill and all that stuff. So I knew that was different, right? But I was asking other family members, 35, 40. I was like, damn. I guess he's right. Internet started to get bigger and come around. I looked it up. I couldn't deny it. That's what it said. But that was some knowledge that he poured into me. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to share that shit with me, but he did. He did. And I appreciate that. And I pass that knowledge on. You got that right. Anybody listen, you can get that knowledge. What? What's that? Have you heard of doing tonings? What is that? I don't know what that is. Some people be saying it's crazy. What is this? What is tonings? Tones. I don't know what that is. You might explain to me. But yeah, I mean, just that opportunity, I was able to develop a bond and a friendship, even after that big motherfucker tackled me. Shit. It was a good thing. It was a beautiful thing. I mean, I was able to benefit so much from learning from him. Because what it was, he was a farmer by trade, but his actual job was a home loan officer for a bank. And so me breaking bread with him, getting that knowledge from him, just sit back, listen, and soak that shit in, man. I used to ask questions forever. Even when I bought my first home, I called my man's father up and asked him, and say, hey, man, your pops, man, and look, tell him to call me. I got some questions about this and this. And he gave me a call. I talked to him. We chopped it up. He said, be looking out for this and this and this. Make sure you do this when you for your loan. Get this type of loan. Look for that type of loan. Look that for type of grant. You know what I'm saying? And all, man, he gave me so much game, man. It was, man. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm stuck a game that you would have to pay somebody to give you. He blessed me with. So, man, it was just the camaraderie that I had with certain teammates. I got to experience certain things that I normally wouldn't do. Got to go to cities and counties and countries. Well, not countries, but places that I normally wouldn't go to. I ain't had no business in Arkansas. I ain't had no dealings there. Memphis. Got the opportunity to go to Memphis. Matter of fact, was supposed to go to the what was that? The AAC tournament. I think it's what it was down in Memphis at the Pyramid. Didn't get to go because I had an accident the day before. And I told Haynes, I said, ain't no way, because you got to think from here, Memphis is about 8 hours. And I said, there's no way I can drive. After just getting into a car accident, I said, I can't go, man. I hated I couldn't go because I wanted to go bad. Never been to Memphis before. Was able to go the next year, but that year I just couldn't go. My back was sore. My body was sore from the goddamn accident. But, man, I hated that I couldn't go. You know what I'm saying? We had a whole setup. We were going to go to the Pyramid, and during that time, you know what I'm saying, they had the AAC tournament down there. They had a nice little casino down there. I mean, it was nice. Now I got to go to, like I said, the next year. So kudos to that. But that year, I think it was U of L played Memphis for the AAC tournament, and that's when Calipari and Rick Pitino was at U of L. It wasn't AAC, it was Conference USA. I'm sorry, the Conference USA tournament was down there. My bad. And Darius Washington had a chance to win that game at the free throw line. And I didn't get to go to that game. That would have been a hell of a game to go to. And I'm not even a Louisville fan, but that would have been a hell of a game to get to party to and be at. Just to watch it on TV, man, that was a hell of a game. But those are some of the little things I was able to experience because of the teammates that I developed over the time period, man. So, man, shout out to them, man. I enjoyed it, my time there, and still talk about my man from college, the quarterback. I like. I'm happy for that young man that he was able to get the help. Right, I was happy for him that he was able to get help. I was happy for him because, you know, his teammates and the program didn't turn it back on by not letting him back on the team. You know, shout out to the team for being in his corner, man. They realized he made a mistake. He made a bad decision, and yet they did not turn their back on him. So shout out to Texas Tech, man, for that. Shout out to Green Bay for making that bad decision by re-signing Christian Watson, to a 4-year deal, 110. That's not worth it. I'm glad you can blow your money on that scrub because I don't think he's going to produce for him, because I know the last time we seen him, we busted his ass. We busted that boy's ass. He wasn't ready for what was coming. You know, back in the day, you say bring the rod air. That's what we used to say back. Let me stop. But before we go any further, we got to get to this goddamn like button situation. Guys, do me a solid and hit that like button for me. Push the goddamn button. I appreciate every last one of you guys for being here. If you watch it live, hit the like button. If you're going to watch me on a replay because, man, you just didn't have time to watch Hink at that moment because you had some other things going on, family stuff, work, the kids, activities. I don't know what it is. You in the shower, you missed my show. I don't know why, but you did. Hit that goddamn like button because you watch it on replay. And for anybody who hasn't subscribed to my channel yet, shame on you.
Lord Jesus.
Shame on you. Hit that goddamn like button. That being said, we got to get to this NBA. We got to talk about the Knicks, the New York Knickerbockers. Shout out to the Patrick Ewings, the John Starks, the Fraziers, the Phil Jacksons, the Bill Bradleys, the Bernard King. Shout out to the Anthony Masons, the Charles Oakleys, the Allen Houstons, shout out to all of them. Former Knicks players, Harper, with his goddamn big ass nose. Look like a goddamn vacuum on his face. Shout out to him. Shout out to the Knicks from the 99 season when they played against the San Antonio Spurs last and they lost in a shortened season. Shout out to all of the Knicks fans. Shout out to the Fat Joes, the Remy Moss. Shout out, was it Frankie Valentine? Shout out to all the New York Knicks. Shout out to my man Tracy Morgan, Spike Lee, Ben Stiller. Shout out to all of them. They winning out here. They winning. Shout out to the Denzel Washington. I thought I'd see him at a Knicks game. He may not be a fan, but I don't know. Shout out to all of them. They deserve this. They deserve what they are getting right now, man. It's been since 1973. Guys, I was born in 75. It's been since 1973 was the last time the Knicks won the NBA championship. 52 years ago. That's a long time. And it's not like they didn't have the opportunities. I remember back in the days of 94. Matter of fact, before I was running off to college, running the Hester and Regents and Hart Hall at the calf, at the racer shop, I think it was called. Before I went down there, I was watching OJ And a white Bronco interrupting the New York Knicks playing against the goddamn Houston Rockets. Elizabeth Hall. You just saying that because that's where you stayed at. I'm sick of this. We did a lot of damage in Elizabeth Hall, I ain't gonna lie. Some victims. And some victims in Elizabeth Hall. I ain't gonna go no further. We're gonna leave it there. We just gonna leave it right there because I don't want to incriminate myself. But nonetheless, I remember before I got to the campus in August, I remember watching this white Bronco riding down the highway and people hold up signs, "Go OJ, go." This man just got finished killing these two white folks. You heard what I said. Y'all know he did that shit. OJ done killed that people. OJ done, I shouldn't be laughing. This is crazy. I ain't even laughing. But I remember watching the Knicks and the Houston Rockets playing in the NBA Finals. And then they went to a mini screen of the Bronco. Then it went from the basketball game being in a mini screen, and then the goddamn Bronco chase was on the big screen. It was crazy. I remember that. I remember in '99 when the San Antonio Spurs playing the Rockets. I mean, the San Antonio. I'm talking about the San Antonio Spurs was playing the Knicks with Pat Riley. Was it the coach? Back in '94. I remember in '99 when Allen Houston was with the Knicks. Paying them. Just couldn't beat the Tim Duncan led and Dave Robinson led San Antonio Spurs. It was the last time they was in the finals. But now, 2026, them boys up 2-0. Huh? Them boys up 2-0 right now. Average man said I was 4 years old when they won the Knicks won. I know that's right, average man. Average man. I came through 2 years later. 2 years later, I came through the canal. I had no idea what it was. The only time I seen it when I was watching the goddamn story about the Knicks and the Garden. Madison Square Gardens. I didn't know nothing about the Knicks winning. It just said I said, damn, it looked like Phil Jackson. That's who it was. But that was it. But now you got Michael Bridges, Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, Big Cat Carl, Anthony Towns. Huh? He said he came through the canal butt first. Hey, man, I kicked in the door waving the 4-4. You know how, oh, don't shoot no more. You know what it is. Big Papa don't hit me no more. That's what he was. That's why he came through the door with the 4-4. You had Mitchell Robinson and them down there banging and roughing them boy Wembley up. Huh? Big Cat out there playing aggressive, doing this thing. Huh? That little Hispanic boy with the pretty hair. I don't know his goddamn name, but he good. He doing his thing. My man was an okay. Oh, I came with that. He has to shorten his name because can't nobody ever pronounce his name. But he played in Indiana. I do remember when he was in Indiana. I can't think of the boy's name. Okell. Ah, man, y'all know what I mean. Hey, man, look. Let me say this. Don't let me jinx him. But I'm rooting for the Knicks. I'm rooting for the Knicks to win the title. That's who I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for the New York Knicks to win his title. My brother's a New York Knicks fan. I'm rooting for the New York Knicks because it's been since 1973, and they deserve this win. They deserve it, man. I like Wembley, and I think Wembley's going to be good for a long time coming. He's going to win many MVPs. I promise you that. But it's just not his time. They are killing that young boy. They got that man's head on a swivel. He's all over the place. He's just confused. They got him on his heels. They don't know what to do. What he supposed to do? What he supposed to do? He confused. They got that boy confused right now. He's reeling. He got the boy out there shooting jump shots, man. He ought to be getting his long ass in the goddamn paint, dunking on cat. He ain't trying to do all that. He trying to shoot jumpers. And they whooping his goddamn ass because of it. They out there whooping his ass, pushing around. Move, little boy. He give him that good old Eric Bieniemy, stiff arm. Ugh. Hitting him with the Heisman pose, man. You remember David Howard hit that Heisman pose when he scored that touchdown for the Green Bay Packers, who was the MVP? He hit that Heisman hard. Especially when he played for Michigan, won #1, he returned that kick. Shit, hit him with that Heisman pole, tough. Well, that's how they was doing Wembley. Treating him bad, sunning that man, and ain't nothing he could do. But what he gonna do? But nothing he could do with him. Big dog, I'm good, man. I appreciate your ask. Sometimes you got to look at it. Let me say this. Shout out to Men's Mental Health Month. The month of June is Men's Mental Health Month. Shout out to you, brother. Sometimes, man, you gotta ask. That's the question how you doing, brother? I was at work today. Man came up. I said, man, what's going on, brother? Hopefully all is well with you. How you doing? How you holding down? I said, man, I'm good. I said, man, it's Men's Mental Health Month, so I hope your mental's good. I had to drop that in his ear because you never know what somebody's going through. You understand what I'm saying? You never know what somebody's going through. Man, they could have the worstest day of the worstest. And me just asking that question may make that man feel just a little bit better. Man, have that man thinking like, I'm all right, man. I appreciate you asking. Man, probably ain't heard that in a long time. Let me go in for the man. Might never even been asked that question. That's how crazy it is. Man's never been asked that question, but now all of a sudden his brother came up and asked me that question. How am I doing? It may mean the world to that man. You never know. My man said, let's go Knicks. Shout out to the Knicks. I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for the Knickerbockers. I'm rooting for the Patrick Ewing with the goddamn big ass knee pads and shit. Look like a goddamn volleyball player. Pat, you went out there looking like a goddamn volleyball player with them goddamn knee pads. But no, real talk. But guys, do me a favor, hit that like button for me. And I want to say this before I go tonight. Come in Wednesday, make sure you're ready. Come in Wednesday, make sure you're ready. Hit that like button. Let's get it going. We got a great show we got lined up for this Wednesday for Men's Mental Health Month. Y'all know every year I do a show about this. I like to talk about this, share this, and we're gonna just chop it up, man, and have a good time, man, and put out some information that some men can definitely be able to use to help them in their journey for whatever it is. And that's very important. And average man comes in with this goddamn hate. He said, I hope the Knicks lose the series. The hell with who you cheer for, Hank. I hope they lose the series. Average man, you ain't shit. Oh, but hey, let me say this before we go. Y'all know how I do. Black man, protect yourself at all times. Whether you got to get on somebody's goddamn couch or somebody's Zoom meeting, do what you got to do for your mental. Guys, make sure you take care of yourself. Go get your A1C check. Go get your blood work. Go get a full physical. Exercise. Do right by yourself for your physical and your mental. And your mental. We only get one shot at this thing. Ain't no hit no reset button. This ain't no Nintendo. You can't hit the reset button. You ain't no do-overs. You get one shot at life. That's it. If you know something any different, please give me that information. If I can hit the reset button, I would love to, but I can't. You only get one shot at this bad boy. You understand what I'm saying? So make the best of it. Do what you got to do for yourself and your health. Health is wealth. If you don't know, you'll know. If you don't know, your body will let you know. Make sure you get the plenty of rest you need, plenty of sleep. Make sure you eating right. Make sure you taking care of yourself. Men of a certain age, such as myself, an average man, your old ass. Guys, you got to go get your prostate checks. You got to get your colonoscopy. Now, you guys who maybe not at high risks, you could probably do the blood work. You could probably do the stool sample. But guys, if you have a history of prostate cancer, if you have a history of colon cancer, you can't play around with it. You got to do what you got to do. Now, I'm going to tell you now, shit ain't right. I'm going to tell you now, guys, this shit ain't right. So your best bet is find you a woman with some little bit of hands. That's all I can tell you. Make sure you get a doctor. When they check your prostate, make sure you get a doctor with a little bit of hair. Look at them goddamn head, pretty little. Look at them goddamn big sausage. Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from me with them goddamn big ass hands. You're not doing that. Get you a nurse, practitioner with them little bitty hands and do what she has to do for your prostate. Shit ain't right, man. I'm gonna be vulnerable with you guys. This shit was so fucking embarrassing. I remember I had to get mine checked. The motherfucker. Had me a goddamn box of tissue afterwards. I said, you motherfucker, you ain't shit. The heifer had me a box of tissue when I was done. I felt so fucking violated. I said, this is some bullshit. How often I gotta do this shit? You ain't gonna keep going up violate my ass. This is some bullshit. But guys, to be honest, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. When you get your colonoscopy, it's not gonna be fun. Let me tell you this. the roughest part is the process of the prep work. That's the roughest part. Because they put you under, so you don't feel anything. And you may be a little slower the next day. Although when you wake up, you come to. Yeah, you're a little groggy, a little groggy, a little sore. But you got to do what you got to do, man. It's part of what it is. You say you sound like LeBron. What the hell? What the hell? Oh my God. Yeah, that colonoscopy thing was the challenging thing was the prep. And they make you drink this liquid that tastes like freaking Alka-Seltzer. And you had to drink the whole jug. It was like a jug. You know, you had to, it's one of those jugs you had just had water, and they said you got to finish the jug. I couldn't eat none that night. Only thing I had was I could eat something clear. I drank the stuff I had to drink was clear. So when I was hungry, I ate chicken broth or water. Those were my options. They said 7-Up, but but it's clear. But I didn't drink. I'm not a big soda guy, so didn't drink that. So I had to drink nothing but water and eat chicken broth. Had to clear myself out. So once they go in and do what they do, they can see what they need to see with no distractions. And preferably, hopefully, they give you the all clear. But guys, that's what it is. Guys, with that being said, I'm looking forward to getting to the show Wednesday, man. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have a lot of good conversation. A lot of good information will be shared in that show. Make sure you guys tune in, and I will appreciate every last one of you being there. With that being said, if you know somebody who could definitely use the show, who would know that show that would definitely encourage them or help them in any type of way, make sure you share that. Make sure you share that. With that being said, I appreciate every last one of you, and I will catch you beautiful people on the next one. Right on.